This is a question we've gotten so often lately by people coming to us when they're in crisis in their Christian marriage. They ask us, how do you fix the marriage without rehashing the past? We didn't create these problems overnight, and we don't want to just keep sweeping them under the rug, but we don't want to keep revisiting them over and over again. What did we do? Here's the thing, guys. We want to tell you, you've got to stop rehashing the past if you want to heal your marriage, and you've got to do something different instead. And I'll get to that in this video. The first thing you've got to do is stop rehashing the past. Because here's the thing, we see this all the time. Couples come to us, they are frustrated, they're disgusted because they have spent weeks or months or sometimes years doing counseling or therapy where in the moment they felt better getting their feelings out, right? Feeling heard by the therapist or counselor and kind of rehashing all that stuff. But when they went home, nothing changed. It was the same thing over and over again. And honestly, week after week, it felt like the same. Let's talk about your feelings. Let's talk about what went wrong. And rehashing the past over and over again, it doesn't really solve the problem. Of course, you don't want to just ignore the problems either and sweep them under the rug. That creates a whole new set of problems. And so here's the thing. So many couples come to us and they feel like they're having the same conversation over and over again, right? Rehashing the same hurts, rehashing the same frustrations, rehashing the same pains and problems that they've been doing for years. And nothing is changing, right? They don't know what to do about them. And so this is one of the reasons why we realize that the traditional methods of healing your marriage are really, at best, they're outdated. And at worst, they can make things worse. And when I was talking about the traditional methods are your traditional counseling and therapy, where we talk about the problems. Yeah, you go in there for an hour, talk about your problems, talk about your feelings, you go home and nothing changes, right? And so here's the thing. Rehashing the same problems without an upgrade to how you communicate and without an upgrade to how you're thinking and feeling about the problem, that is a recipe for disaster. That is going to keep people stuck in your frustration. It's going to keep you stuck in your hurt. It's going to keep you stuck in your same patterns, okay? And because what it does is it is going to amplify the hurt, amplify the anger, amplify the frustration, the betrayal, the feeling of not being valued, not being heard, not being prioritized in your marriage. If you go into a session and you're coming in that same emotional state, right? Because what's happening is you are reliving that emotional state, you are amplifying it, and it's like your brain, your body puts like a mark on your nervous system to say, I remember this. And then, it's kind of like when you've been telling a story of what happened to you when you got hurt or something happened, with a cashier and something bad happened with customer service. Every time you tell the story, you get more upset about it, right? It's because you're reliving it and you're reliving it in that same emotional state. That does not work. Okay, so instead of rehashing the past, what you have to do and what we teach our clients how to do is how to truly resolve the past. And there's a difference, okay? So in order to be able to resolve the past, you've got to do several things differently. Number one, you've got to actually learn how to hear your partner, okay? Here's a newsflash. Men and women hear things differently. We are wired differently. We have different types of brains. We have different types of lenses that we see the world with. And honestly, we're different despite what our culture says. We hear things differently. So you've got to learn about your spouse. You've got to learn how they're wired. You've got to learn how to hear them differently and hear the words underneath what they're really saying. Because most likely, if your wife is telling you she's so frustrated because you don't help her around the house, she's not telling you she's frustrated because you're not picking up your underwear and not unloading the dishwasher. What she's really telling you is she doesn't feel prioritized. She feels like a maid. She doesn't feel like a lover, like your best friend, like your priority. See, there's something underneath what she's telling you, okay? And so, number one, you've got to learn how to hear your partner out. Okay. Now, secondly, you have got to learn how to shift your emotional state so that you're not hearing them in that same place of being defensive, wanting to blame them, getting frustrated, angry, hurt, right? You can't be in that emotional state and solve the problem. You just can't. In fact, you can't solve any problem in the same emotional state that the problem was created in. You just simply can't. So this is a skill that you have to learn on how to shift your emotional state. So instead of coming to the problem with your hurt and your anger and your defensiveness coming into play, you've got to learn how to come at it with empathy, with curiosity, with courage, with honesty, with respect, so that true connection can occur. Okay. So if you try hearing your partner out, but you're frustrated, you're still in that state of anger, and you're still in that state of frustration, it is impossible to truly resolve the problem as a team. It's only going to come right back up. And it's like your body remembers, your nervous system gets activated. You know what happens. Your palms start to sweat, your heart starts to race, your voice starts to get loud, and it starts to escalate, right? And so learning how to regulate your emotional state and shift how you're showing up in the right mindset and the right emotional state is everything to helping your partner feel heard so that the two of you can actually resolve what's happened and heal from it. And guys, this is exactly why we built our turnaround marriage system, to help couples and show them exactly how to do this so that the hurts of the past can actually be healed from and they can learn from them. Right? It's like the rear view mirror analogy. We want to look in the rear view mirror when we need to. We want to see where we've come from. We want to make sure we're not driving in that direction. That's not our focus. We're focused on our windshield, where we want to go. But the reality is we need the rear view mirror so that we can learn from the past. We can put that to bed. We can actually resolve it with forgiveness and healing and validation with each other. Okay. And so this is why we built our system. It's called Turnaround Marriage. And we've shown hundreds and hundreds of Christians on how to finally resolve the conflicts, how to finally come back from feeling like roommates and actually build true intimacy again. Okay. So if this sounds like you, and if you are so sick of rehashing the past, if the way that you're attempting to heal your marriage and repair the damage that's been done feels like just rehashing and you want to learn how to truly resolve it, I want to encourage you to go ahead and book a breakthrough call with us. You can go to turnaroundmarriage.com/call and we'll get on the phone for about 45 minutes to an hour. We're going to help you diagnose what's exactly keeping you stuck, where you really feel the hurt and pain have gotten in the way of the connection that you desire to have in your marriage. And then we'll talk about a strategy to be able to get out of that and how to learn how to resolve those problems, right? And if we're a good fit, we'll show you what that would look like to work together inside our system. The system that we've created by God's grace is second to none. It's incredible how quickly people can stop rehashing the past and truly resolve the past so that the marriage can heal and true connection, true intimacy, true love and respect can come flooding back. So if that's you and you want our help and you want to get on that call and let us help you diagnose the problem, go to turnaroundmarriage.com/call. We'll talk to you soon.